Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, our mission is, well, it's a pretty critical one. We're extracting the essential knowledge you need to keep a sharp, calm, and clear mind when everything around you is just chaos.
Total chaos. We're
Yeah.
talking about those incredibly high stress days right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. The work pressure, the constant pings, the traffic, what the research we looked at actually calls the Addis days.
That's right. And we've synthesized a dozen really effective science-backed strategies for mental clarity.
And the best part is that it's not abstract.
No, not at all. It's a list of 12 highly actionable tips designed to fit into even the busiest schedules. I mean, if you commit to the core stack we're going to outline, the total time commitment is maybe 15 to 20 minutes a day.
That's it for a clear head.
That's it. This is basically your shortcut to stop brain fog before it even starts.
Okay, let's get into it. Let's unpack the foundation first, because I guess none of the small daily hacks matter if this major pillar is crumbling.
Recovery.
Right. We're starting with recovery, and tip number one is the absolute non-negotiable: sleep.
It sounds so obvious, but the data is just staggering. The research states pretty emphatically that 90% of mental fog,
90%.
90, that inability to concentrate, that feeling where you're struggling for a word, it just comes from simple sleep debt.
Wow. So it's not some complicated brain chemistry issue.
Not usually, it's just not enough recovery time.
That means all those complex productivity systems we try to build are basically useless if we aren't getting this one basic thing right. But, when you have a 14-hour workday, how are you supposed to manage a strict 7 or 8 hours of sleep?
Well, the material doesn't just say sleep more, it really emphasizes structure. The key action is to fix your bedtime and your wake-up time.
And stick to it.
And stick to it religiously. Even on weekends, if your system knows you're going to bed around, say, 10:30 p.m. every night, your whole circadian rhythm stabilizes.
Well, consistency is the real secret here.
It's the most important factor. It makes those 7 hours genuinely restorative.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, so let's jump to the other end of the day, the thing that directly protects that critical sleep time. We're looking at tip number 9, the digital sunset.
Right. This deals with our late-night tech addiction, which is, the primary enemy of deep sleep and next-day clarity.
It's the blue light we always hear about.
That's the blue light, yes, but it's also the constant dopamine hits from notifications that just keep your mind cycling.
The sources recommend a very specific, and I thought, a really unusual tactic here. After 8 p.m., turn your phone onto Do Not Disturb and switch it to grayscale.
Grayscale.
Why drain the color? That seems so weird.
It's a brilliant cognitive hack, really. It's based on visual disincentives. Color is inherently stimulating. It makes the device feel exciting, and it keeps that addictive loop going.
So by removing the color,
You make the phone visually boring. You just drastically reduce that spontaneous urge to pick it up and scroll. It's like an environmental cue telling your brain, all right, the show is over for tonight.
so you're creating friction.
Yeah.
You're making it harder and less appealing to do the very thing that's ruining tomorrow.
Exactly. You're literally engineering your environment for rest.
Okay, we've stabilized the night. Now we have to protect the morning from that same chaos. Let's move into what you're calling morning mastery. Tip number 2, the first 60 minutes no phone rule. Why is touching the phone so destructive in that first hour?
The problem is physiological. When you immediately start scrolling, checking emails, reading bad news, you spike your cortisol,
The stress hormone.
the stress hormone, exactly. You put your brain into a state of defense and fragmentation right out of the gate. You're sabotaging your ability to do deep focus later on.
So instead of jumping into that, the goal is to gently bring the system online. What are the key steps in that protected hour?
The research suggests 3 core, really low-friction steps. First, hydrate aggressively, a big glass of water to restart the body.
Makes sense.
Second, just 2 minutes of simple stretching, wake up the muscles. And third, plan the day's 3 key priorities. You set the agenda, the world doesn't set it for you.
And what if your mind is already just racing with everything that you have to do? That leads us straight to tip number 4, the 5-minute brain dump.
This is maybe the fastest way to free up cognitive capacity. You write down everything that's swirling in your head, worries, to-dos, shopping lists, anything.
On paper, or
Paper, a note on your phone, doesn't matter.
it's like instantly clearing your mental RAM.
Precisely. If your brain is trying to hold on to 5 minor chores and a stressful conversation from yesterday, those background processes are draining the exact energy you need for your real work.
So you're just outsourcing the memory function.
You get it on paper and you free up that mental space for focus. instantly.
And that mental capacity is exactly what we need for the next point. Tip number 3,
Yeah.
single task, everything. Now, this is where I have to push back a bit. In these high-stress environments, we're praised for multitasking. It feels impossible to just do one thing. How do the sources justify this?
They justify it with hard data. Multitasking is an illusion of efficiency. It's actually just rapid context switching.
So you're just jumping back and forth really fast.
Right. And the Stanford study cited in the material showed that this context switching actively drops your functional IQ by 10 to 15 points.
Wow. Temporarily, I hope.
Temporarily, yes. But you are literally making yourself slower and less effective by trying to divide your attention.
So the practical action isn't just about work then. It's about retraining your brain for focus in even the simplest moments.
Exactly right. You have to practice radical focus. The material gives a great, really relatable example. Practice even eating injera without TV.
I love that.
If you can just focus on the sensory experience of a simple meal, you build the muscle you need for complex tasks.
Okay, excellent. We've set up the cognitive boundaries. Now let's talk about the physical inputs. Segment 3, biological maintenance. Starting with tip 5, hydration.
We really can't overstate this one. Your brain is mostly water. Dehydration of just 1 to 2% is enough to noticeably impair concentration.
1 to 2%, that's nothing.
It's nothing, but it affects your reaction time, your mental energy. You feel foggy, but often it's just low water levels.
So we need a strategy, not just casual sips here and there.
The actionable goal is clear. Keep a 1-liter bottle with you and finish it by 3 p.m.
Why 3 p.m.?
You need to front-load your hydration to power your brain through that high-demand morning and early afternoon.
That makes the goal trackable.
Oh.
Okay, moving on. Tip 6, which is meant to combat that, desk slump. Micro movement.
Yeah, when you sit still for too long, blood flow slows down. That means your brain starts getting starved of oxygen and nutrients, and you get that heavy, drowsy feeling.
So we're talking about a quick reset every hour or so.
Exactly. Every 60 to 90 minutes, just do 30 to 60 seconds of movement. Shoulder rolls, a quick walk to the window, a few jumping jacks.
Well, what does that do biologically?
This small burst instantly restores blood flow and oxygen to the brain. It's like a genuine cognitive refresh button.
I like that, a refresh button. Okay, finally for this segment, tip 8, brain food lunch. This is so critical for avoiding that 2 p.m. crash.
Absolutely. The quality of your lunch determines your energy in the afternoon. If you eat foods that spike your blood sugar, you get a quick high and then a dramatic crash.
That sleepy fog that just destroys productivity.
That's the one. The goal here is stable blood sugar for a stable mind.
So what are the recommended brain fuel components for that slow release?
You're looking for nutrient density, fiber, healthy fats. The list includes things like teff, lentils, eggs, avocado, fish, dark leafy greens, plus a healthy fat like olive oil or nuts.
And the source specifically calls out what to avoid.
Oh yeah, it explicitly cautions against the heavy carb load. Avoid the heavy shiro plus bread coma if you want to be sharp at 4 p.m.
Fuel the mind, don't tranquilize it. Okay, moving into our final segment, stress interruption and cognitive consolidation. How do we manage those real-time stress hits?
We deploy tip number 10, the 3x3 breathing break. This is an immediate physiological trick to interrupt the stress response.
3 by 3. So 3 seconds in?
3 seconds inhale, 3 seconds hold, and 3 seconds exhale. It's that simple.
And this should be deployed the moment you feel that stress starting to build.
Exactly. Do 5 full rounds whenever you feel that anxiety or irritation starting stuck in traffic, waiting for a meeting. It actively calms the nervous system.
And for a longer-term strategy, there's tip 7, meditation or prayer.
This is about structural maintenance. Consistent practice, even for just a few minutes a day, is proven to physically thicken the prefrontal cortex.
And that's the part of the brain responsible for
What? It's your executive control center. Focus, managing impulses, making good decisions under pressure.
For someone who's new to this, what's the simplest way to start?
You don't need anything complex. You can just use silence, count your breaths. The material suggests repeating a calming word like silam on the inhale and exhale to focus the mind.
Now, tip 11 is maybe the most counterintuitive in our, hyper-scheduled world. The weekly nothing slot. Planned boredom.
It's so counterintuitive, but it's essential. We're conditioned to believe every moment has to be productive, but your brain needs downtime to process everything.
So this is a dedicated slot.
A dedicated 60-minute slot every week with no phone, no plans, no destination, just sitting on a balcony or taking a slow, undirected walk.
What is the brain actually doing during this nothing time?
This is when the crucial hidden work happens.
Yeah.
Your mind consolidates memories from the past week, it makes new connections, and it solves problems that your conscious, distracted mind couldn't crack.
You're giving your subconscious the quiet space it needs to work.
That's it, exactly.
That's powerful. Okay, finally, let's wrap up the day with tip 12, a quick end-of-day review.
This is a 2-minute ritual right before bed. You just ask yourself 2 simple questions. What went well today? And what is the one single thing I must do tomorrow?
And the practical outcome of this little ritual.
It prevents rumination. By positively processing the day and setting one clear anchor point for the next, you clear out all that mental clutter. You go to sleep with intention.
You wake up clearer.
Exactly. Ready for your protected 60 minutes.
That collection of strategies, it's a remarkable commitment to efficiency. The real takeaway for me is the cumulative power of this super simple daily stack. It's less than 20 minutes of active time, but it hits all the major factors causing brain fog.
It does. And if you, the listener, feel overwhelmed by 12 steps, we really encourage you to just start small. I mean, think about it. If the material suggests that 90% of mental fog is tied to sleep debt,
Right.
and blue light messes with deep sleep, which of those foundational tips, getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, the digital sunset with grayscale, or that first 60 minutes no phone rule, which one would offer you the highest immediate return?
So just pick 3 or 4 to start.
Pick 3 or 4, commit to them for just 7 days, and measure the difference. The clarity you gain will make even the most demanding days feel, well, manageable.